administration has told hundreds of thousands of migrants from several countries that they are losing their legal status in the U.S. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camila Montoya Galvez joins us now for more on this. So, Camila, very good to see you. How did this decision come about, and who are these migrants that are being affected by the move?
Hi, Nancy. Well, this action by the Trump administration stems from a Supreme Court ruling back in May that allowed the Department of Homeland Security to follow through on an action to terminate a Biden-era program that allowed 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to come here legally under the Biden administration. At the time, officials said that this policy was designed to dissuade and deter migrants from crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally by offering them a legal mechanism to come here to the U.S. But the Trump administration, Nancy, has argued that this policy was unlawful and that the people who came under this initiative were not properly screened and vetted, and now this program has been officially ended, and the hundreds of thousands of people who came under this initiative are now being told, Nancy, to use a smartphone app to sign up for self-deportation to leave the country voluntarily. Otherwise, officials are warning them that they will be found, identified, arrested, and forcibly deported from the country.
But if they don't self-deport, are there any channels for any of them to stay in the country? We're talking about more than 500,000 people here.
It's a huge population of migrants, Nancy. That is completely right. And yes, some of the migrants who came under this policy may be able to stay here legally under other programs. For example, migrants can request asylum and receive asylum if they fled political persecution or persecution because of their religion, race, nationality, or other certain grounds protected under U.S. asylum law. Additionally, some migrants may be eligible for a green card, for example. Cubans, under a Cold War era law, are generally able to get a green card under that law dating back to the 1960s. So some of these migrants may have other options, but for many, this was the only lifeline to be able to stay in the country legally. So now they face the prospect of becoming undocumented. Now their presence could be illegal in the country. They will not be eligible to work, or they will have to leave and go back to their home countries.
And Camilo, switching topics here, tomorrow there will be a hearing in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, now back in the U.S. facing criminal charges. What will you be watching for?
Well, just to level set, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, Nancy, is back in the U.S. after being mistakenly deported to El Salvador, but he's also back facing serious federal charges related to what the Justice Department has alleged was a sophisticated effort by him and other individuals to smuggle migrants, including children, into the U.S., illegally migrants from countries like Ecuador, Guatemala, and other nations in Latin America. And now we know that a federal court in Nashville will be deciding the question of whether he should be detained by the federal government while this trial continues. And while he faces these charges, the government is arguing, Nancy, that he is a public safety threat who must remain in detention. His lawyers, of course, dispute that.
Camila Montoya Galvez, thank you very much.
First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kahakdash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to the whole Father, like preaching His word and truth, sincerity to you ribs, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom. You know, nobody's surprised that Nero, aka Trampito, would kick the legals out, right? Because he was screaming like, yo, you know, you got to come here legally. You know, everybody who's here legally, that's fine. Do it through the right avenues. And all these people that did that now getting kicked out. Showing you the type of hatred that this man has. Mind you, he's bringing in South African Edomites. Allegedly because they're being attacked by the Hamites down there, taking their lands back. I repeat, taking their lands back from Esau. So is he not giving criminals, refugee here after they stole the lands. Now they're saying, okay, you can come live here peacefully. That's the same thing they did with Nazi Germany. They took their scientists, they hid their top officers in Argentina. Everybody knew about it. Man, this whole life is it's a joke, man. All this shit is a joke. And if you believe in the news, then you gotta smarten up. Because not everything they give you in the news is true. Man, I'm sick of this place. This is why we can't be comfortable here. We can't trust on our enemies, man. It's Isaiah chapter 36 verse 6. Lo, thou that trustest in the staff of this broken reed, right? And a reed goes into a walking stick, right? A flimsy, weak walking stick, right? When you put that walking stick on the floor, you're just looking at it, you can't tell that it's weak. From the outside looking in, it looks like a solid stick, man, but this stick is weak. It's ready to crumble and fall, right? It says, lo, though thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed, which is on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, where if a man lean, it will go into his hand. I mean, it'll break, splinter, and hurt yourself, man. This is what all these people are doing by trusting in this place, man. Right? And that's why the scriptures say that, you should not put no king above you that is not of your own people. And I know people want to better their life and, want it better for their families. And I understand that you're not doing it because you love this place, but you're trying to just, live in a better place than where you came from. And I get that. Right? But we got to understand that this man who is above all here in this world, who the Lord have put above all, who the Lord gave control over the entire earth, Job 9 and 24, right? The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. Then you gotta understand what comes with that, man. It comes with unrighteous decrees, unrighteous rulings, right? The scriptures say that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Right? So even if you feel some type of, relief, you feel like your life is getting better, you gotta always watch your back, man. Always keep one eye open. Because in any second, any minute, this man could flip like he just did. This man is on a personal attack on Jake. For whatever reason. We all know that it's of the Lord. It says, lo, thou trusted in the staff of a broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean on it, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, Trump, the king of Egypt, Babylon, aka America, to all that trust in him. And that's the issue. Thinking you're gonna escape these curses by coming here. No, man, you're walking into a trap, into a snare prepared for you. Right? But it is the Lord that guides our steps, man. We are where we at because the Lord wants us where we need to be at. So just pray the Lord gives you mercy at the end. Keep the faith. Right? Hold on to what you've been taught. If you've been taught in the right ways. And that's it, man. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to all for elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. to you rips, to you sisters out there learning in silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom.